The 108th season in the illustrious history of Ohio men's basketball is upon us, and the 18th era is about set to tip off. Welcome to Saul Ball, and welcome to our 2014-2015 season preview. I'm Russ Eisenstein, the voice of the Ohio Bobcats. Welcome inside the locker room at the Convocation Center. We're joined by Saul Phillips, the first-year head coach of the Bobcats, and we visited on April 8th when you got this job. What's your life been like from then until now?
We visited right here, in this very spot. It's all come full circle. Here we are. By the time the signing period's over, we'll have signed or gotten commitments from 9 new players. That's just, that in and of itself speaks to the volume of activity that's been going on. We've scheduled 5 games. We've put together a roster. We've gone to Canada. Won what I refer to as the Canadian National Championship by winning 3 games in Canada.
Congratulations.
Yeah, there's no documentation that can prove it. I did buy the team a little thermometer plaque thing that I believe is floating around in this room somewhere.
Maple leaves for everyone.
No question. Yeah. But and I took a family vacation that time too. So again, it's been nonstop. One thing that hasn't happened is a lot of golf, and that's no good. But what do you do?
Well, maybe a little bit of warmth here prior to the start of the season. Maybe you could do that in Hawaii as well, but we'll talk about the schedule and your golf game coming up momentarily. The camaraderie of this team, in visiting with your coaching staff and the players, it wasn't a slam dunk that was going to happen, but with your personality, there was probably going to be a good chance that the vibes would be good. They most certainly are, and maybe quicker than it would have happened in the transition period for other head coaches. Why do you think it's happened so quickly for you here with these guys in this place?
I think a lot of it has to do with them and their receptiveness. I mean, I've got 3 guys on my roster that have played for 3 college basketball coaches. I can only throw so many cliches at them that they haven't heard. I'm reaching deep into the playbook every chance I get. The bottom line is they had to be receptive, and that's on them. It's been very, very interesting. For me, this is the first time I've taken over a program in which I wasn't an assistant before I took the head reins. That means last time I took a job over, I knew everybody in the program. I had coached them. I knew what to expect. This is me wandering in from the Great White North, and here I am. And it's been really good. It really has. There's been interesting communication issues at times, not bad, but I mean, it's just different. It's different for everybody. Fortunately, everybody's embraced that. I've said it to them many times. Change can be good, change can be bad. Let's try to make the change good. I don't think any of them would have chose to have played for 3 coaches in their college career, but they still only get 1 college career, and they're sitting on the edge of the end of their career. What do you want to make of it?
Yeah. 25 wins last year, picked 2nd in the MAC East this year, with a couple of votes for the top spot.
And my mom voted, apparently.
Well, that's great.
That's great, yeah.
She was the one that voted you as MAC champions.
Yeah, I noticed she didn't vote Coach of the Year for me, though, that's a little disheartening.
Which means that she feels that you need to keep improving.
It's the carrot out dangling out in front of me.
Do you feel the prediction is right on, a little too low, a little too high? Your thoughts?
I don't know. I say that with all honesty. How are you guys going to be this year? I don't know.
Do you look at this team and think this is a conference championship team? This team has the stuff to be a postseason team?
I don't know. Again, listen, I know how we look against each other. Yeah. I know how we look against 3 Canadian teams.
Which is pretty good thus far.
I'll know a lot more after we go through our preseason, but regardless of what goes on, and however everything goes from here through the preseason, we've got to keep getting better. This is not it better not be a finished product. That's true with any team, but I think even more so with us, because as we get more comfortable doing what we're trying to do, our upside should go up. I'll leave it at this. I don't think we'll be bad. I don't think we'll be bad at all. I don't have any ounce of me that can accept the fact that we'll be bad, and I don't think there's any reason why we should set our goals low. Now, I let the guys set the goals, so they'll probably say Final Four.
Which is one of the possibilities.
You could end up conceivably in the Final Four.
Yeah.
Might as well go. I'll go. I've gone every year.
I've gone to just one.
As a fan, I've gone every year, so I've got a streak going. I don't see what's so hard about getting there.
Your Summit Conference tournament streak, unfortunately, will come to an end this year. But
yeah.
you'll start a new one in the Mid-American Conference.
Yeah, and I'm happy to do so.
Maurice Endor, a second teamer somehow in this league last year, a preseason first teamer, averaged 14 and 7 last year, around there. Two-part question on Mo. We'll start with the first part. There's a lot to like. Mm-hmm. What specifically, do you like about Maurice Endor's game?
He is as unique of a player as you will coach at the MAC level. With his length combined with his ability to move, guard multiple positions, you know, just like you or me, except for he's 6'9" with a 7'6" wingspan.
My life could have been a lot different.
Oh, I told him if I woke up one morning in his body, I would play basketball from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed and take no breaks for anything. But truth be told, I think what I like the most about him, and it's been weird because we've had life without him since I've been here too. He didn't go to Canada. He was having a unbelievable experience in Spain at the World Cup, playing for Senegal. Their team advanced to the Sweet 16, which was unprecedented for their country's history. He's a basketball legend back in his home country now. But while he was doing that, we were establishing an identity. So that now he comes back, and it's another adjustment. And this isn't a guy that just blends in. I mean,
it's hard for him to
it is. The dreadlocks, the length, the size, the skill set, the towering dunks, the block shots. Yeah. It was really imperative that he come back with a good attitude, ready to lead. And that might be what I like best about him, is his attitude coming into this thing. He is a special player. He's going to make a lot of money playing basketball when this is done. I'm going to enjoy coaching him for 1 year. There's no question.
So the goal then, as a successful coach, is you probably look at him and think, well, how can I make this guy better? How can I improve him? So how do you improve Mo? What's the next step for him with this ball club?
Well, Jim certainly did a great job with him. Yeah. So there's a lot. You know, it's funny, you go through this. I've got a way that I did things last year, but I've always had to be somewhat flexible because I never got my first tier kids to commit, being where we were geographically. Mm-hmm. So I had to learn to play a bunch of different ways. So one of the adjustments that I've made is I put Mo in some of the exact same situations he was successful in last year. That being said, there's always room for growth. You know, he's got to shoot more perimeter shots. He does. The way his game is, he's got to take more. Now, that doesn't mean you go away from I'd say just add those onto the shots you're already taking inside. Mm-hmm. You look at his shot chart from last year, huge majority of the makes are within 5 feet of the hoop. But there's less volume away from the hoop, but it's not a bad percentage.
It wasn't, no.
It was not at all. And in fact, when he got hot, he's a touch streaky from the perimeter, but he's really a pretty good shooter. Yeah. And again, if you rely on him just at the rim, then somebody's going to figure out how to take him away at some point or another. You're going to double, you're going to sag enough. I don't want anybody to be able to take him out completely. I don't want him having a 5-shot attempt game. I don't want him having he's got to be a guy that does it consistently every night.
In the guard court, it's veteran with Bean Willis and Stevie Taylor. We saw them on the floor at the same time a couple of times last year. It's most likely going to be different this year. How do you manage those two pieces in your guard court?
Well, first of all, with Stevie, one of the things we got to do is keep him healthy for a year. Right. And we're really lucky to have two guys that are very capable at the point, because that means that we can get Stevie off the floor at times, not for tactical reasons, but just because, listen, he's got to stay healthy. We aren't overly deep as a team, so they can work off each other with that a little bit. But when you put them on the court together, there aren't too many guard combos out there defensively that will play against that can stay in front of both of them. They're both very quick off the dribble. Certainly some challenges defensively when they're both in there together. But again, you can put some pretty good length in behind them with guys like Mo, with guys like Wadley, with guys like Tone. There's some decent length. Ryan Taylor's got good length.
Yeah, we talk about the depth, and there isn't all that much, but there are good pieces. Trey Setti, Wadley, Montpremier. And then obviously you have the freshmen who you do like in Ryan Taylor and Mike Laster. Talk about what they bring to the table in the youth that you have in your program and in the newcomers of Kenny Kaminsky and Jaron Simmons.
Well, I think with both Ryan and Mike, you get a shot at competitiveness. You get a shot of length. You have two guys that aren't bashful. They're going to play significant minutes this year. Both of them would have at least a shot to be four-year starters here. We were very fortunate to get them when we did. That would be a strong recruiting class, regardless of the circumstances. With Jaron and with Kenny, right now it gives us the best scout team I think I've seen in a while. You know, you look over there; it's ultra competitive in practice. They work very well together. They come from the same AAU program. There's a lot of familiarity with the two of them. Yeah, they're both going to be very good. You know, it's one thing just to add bodies. Mm-hmm. I think we've added bodies that long term. You look at Jaron, you look at Ryan, you look at Mike, you look at Kenny. That's a pretty good 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. That's going to be around for a while. I said it before, I'll say it again. You're fighting two battles here. You're trying to remain as competitive as you can this year, but you don't want to sacrifice for 2, 3 years down the road because, again, if your plan is to be here, like mine is, then you want to keep building. I think that's happened in this class. I really do.
There's a lot of who you are that makes an impact on a season, but it's also about who you play, too. And there are a lot of ways to take a look at a schedule, a lot of ways to describe it as manageable, a challenge. It suits your ball club at that time. How would you describe the schedule of 29 games, and particularly the non-conference schedule, as how it suits your ball club this year?
I think it's pretty challenging, honestly. If you look at Belmont, if you look at St. Bonnie's, both could very easily be in the big dance. Florida Gulf Coast is a potential big dance team. Evansville is much improved over last year. They're an upper division Missouri Valley team.
In the Valley.
Yeah, I mean, when I was building the schedule, we had some real constraints because of time. We had 5 games to get when we took over. We got who we got. I would say, looking back now, I wish it was maybe a touch lighter. But again, going forward, you'll see us crank up the schedule as we get deeper and deeper into this. You know, I guess if you're going to go how we went, you might as well go really big names, because the teams we're playing are just as good as some of those big names. Belmont is a legit top 50 program in America. That's all there is to it.
And the trip to Hawaii, of course, is 3 games, and you see your buddy Tim Miles again, which will be fun. I thought ESPN was going to match you 2 up.
I did too. I was shocked. That's okay. I guarantee you we'll see plenty of each other out there. No, it's good, because if we meet, it's going to be in the championship, I guess, right?
Then you get a surfboard.
Yeah, exactly. That would be cool. I would like that. But no, really strong field. We start out against, again, and I sound like a broken record here, a George Washington team that is probably going to make the NCAA tournament.
They've been on that fringe a lot. They've been there for the past couple of years.
This is a year they've been pointing toward. It's. I'll have my entire family out there for Christmas, but I might not see them the whole time I'm out there because we're going to be working pretty hard.
Yeah. Bottom line, through all of it, from the day that you were hired to now, and thinking that you're so close to the start of the season, it just has to be cool for you, for your ball club, because finally it's time to tip this thing off. Well,
you know, when you coach, there's a lot of elements that I love about it. I love developing kids. I love trying to get kids better. But there's nothing better than the season. I mean, it's the coolest time there is. And to be able to do it with this group, we've been through quite a bit together already, honestly. It's been fun. It's a brave new adventure, let's put it that way.
No disrespect to John Gross or Jim Christian, but I think that this might be the highest rated pregame show, postgame visit, coaches show that we've ever had at Ohio as far as men's basketball broadcaster relationship.
And I'm multi-talented. We haven't taken advantage of all my tools yet. Like karaoke, I crush karaoke. We'll
have to do a Bobcat TV piece on that. We're confined by the time, you know what I mean? It's only an hour for a radio show.
I am such a multi-threat that, you just to pour it all out there might be sensory overload.
Well, I'll roll right with you. That's going to be the fun part of it all.
No, we're going to have fun, and Here's what I know. This is a journey where you just keep getting better, game after game after game. And one thing that I really think that we need to do in our program is we need to not ride the highs so high and the lows so low. Hey.
Even keel.
Even keel. We can go about business having a blast with a workmanlike approach. I think that's what this team needs. And I'm not going to stop having fun regardless of what happens. I promise you that.
We're going to have a good time. Thank you so much for the visit. I enjoyed it.
You bet.
That's Saul Phillips, and that's our preview of the 2014-2015 season. It starts in exhibition fashion on November the 8th as Ohio takes on Marietta. The opener for the season comes on November the 15th as Ohio takes on Appalachian State at home. All games are on the Ohio IMG Sports Network, the largest radio network in the Mid-American Conference. Our home games are streamed on OhioBobcats.com as well. Tickets, you want to be here, click around on OhioBobcats.com for those. Thanks to the entire Bobcat TV crew and to Mike Ashcraft, Ohio Sports Information contact for basketball. Now, for Ryan Cochran and for Tanner Smith, I'm Russ Eisenstein. So long from Athens. This is Bobcat TV.